My name's Fiona Hay. I work in much Wenlock and Cressage medical practice, which some of you may know. It's in the south of the county, and I've been there for approximately 25 years. In that practice, we care for just over 8,000 patients. We have 2 sites, and I regard it as one of the most beautiful parts of rural Shropshire. Now, I think general practice is really at the heart of grassroots healthcare, and we know how important it is to support all of our patients, regardless of age, gender, race, or religion, and to do it in a way that makes sense to them. So I think primary care should, and hopefully always is, a welcoming place for all. At my surgery, I think, well, I hope we've got it right, but there's always room for improvement, and complacency is sometimes unhelpful. So as a practice, we're always looking for ways to improve our services and to be responsive to what our patients want and need wherever possible. So there's almost a constant state of flux, really, because we always feel we could do better. The LGBT community, and especially those older members, are often underrepresented, and we're now seeking to encourage a far more inclusive culture within our workplace, both for staff and patients alike. I'm sure you'll hear today, or perhaps already know, that LGBT plus patients often suffer from poorer health outcomes. They may experience more domestic and sexual violence. They can have a higher incidence of mental health and homelessness, and a lot more. So it's really important that we bear that in mind when we're seeing our clients. As with all our patients in what we call minority groups, for example, patients with learning disabilities, perhaps veterans, we seek to encourage an inclusive culture and develop services and approaches that best help those people. And we treat everyone as an individual. So when we were approached by SAND, it was an obvious decision to sign up to their covenant so that we could work collaboratively and we might learn more, and we could improve and better understand what we actually need to do and how best to go about doing that. So what should we do and what are our plans? Well, firstly, Jo Weaver-Jackson, who's in the audience there, who's our current community care coordinator, and myself met with the SAND team and talked. And I always think that's a really good place to start, having that conversation and to actually listen to what's being said. And we discussed ideas and expectations around what signing up to the covenant would actually mean for us and for our patients. We then did a little staff audit to try and better understand what our staff knew about these topics. And perhaps not unsurprisingly, they need to know a bit more. So there's a bit of work to be done there, and it was really good to identify that in the first place. We're in the process of planning an awareness week, which Jo is helping to sort out. Because we live in a rural community, we have lots of those sort of what I call village rags, which are little newspapers that go out to certain sort of collections and of housing and areas. And we've put a piece in those village rags so that we're raising awareness. We have a set piece for the practice news. So we've mentioned it, we've signed up to SAND. We're in the process of updating our website because, as we all know, everyone's using more and more IT, so we feel it's really important to sort of get the message out there. And we're also updating our waiting room resources. And we also have regular training, all GPs and all doctors do this, where we have in-house training with staff, and we're going to, firmly embed this in part of our EDI training. And finally, we're sort of spreading the word to colleagues. As mentioned earlier, sometimes it's very difficult to sort of get that information out to who needs to know about it. So we're sharing this information with colleagues in other practices. We as a practice are part of something called our Health Partnership, which is basically a big federation in Birmingham. There's a little sort of outreach of about 8 practices in Shropshire that are signed up. So we're letting them know about things as well, and also speaking to the sort of education leads at the ICB. So that hopefully it's a bit of a sort of catalyst really. Once one practice signs up, usually the others tend to follow. So we're really excited about doing this. I think it's small steps, a little bit at a time. Obviously, it fits in with all the other things we have to do, but we're just really excited about doing this. And again, thank you for inviting me to come and speak.